and welcome to episode 49 of Tales of Yarnia. My name is Hannah. I'm coming to you from Cheltenham in the UK, which is where I live with my other half Jimmy and our yellow Labrador Jonah. And this is my little podcast all about knitting, crochet, embroidery occasionally, and spinning. Those are pretty much the things that I tend to cover. And I just wanted to say a big welcome to any new viewers. Thank you so much for checking out my podcast. I really hope you enjoy it. And a big welcome back to any returning viewers. I really appreciate you coming back. It's so lovely to have conversations with you in the comments and hear about what you've been crafting as well. So, social media wise, you can find me as Yarnia Designs on Instagram and Ravelry. And you can also find my knitting patterns on Ravelry under Yarnia Designs too. So, Jonah, I think, just wants to say hello because I've got some of his treats here. Come on then, come say hello. He's a good boy. Right, you sit nicely. I'll just move the camera down. Hopefully then you can see him. Oh, he's a good boy, Jonah. You sit nicely. Good boy. I've just got here our neighbour gifted us some homemade dog treats and they are called Fishy Wishy Fingers. So, sorry about the crinkling. I'll just do one. Yeah. It's a little hand. Okay. Good boy. There you go. Right. Let's back up. Cool. Okay, so whilst Jonah's crunching that, I didn't give him a very quiet treat, but it won't last long. So yeah, whilst Jonah's just crunching that, you might notice my setup is a little bit different today, and we finally got my first embroidery sampler on the wall. Although my head's slightly blocking it when I'm podcasting, but I will try and include a little bit of a close-up of that so that you can see that and insert it in somewhere. I'm really proud of it. Really pleased with that. Sorry about Jonah just making noise in general. If you've watched before, you'll know that's just the way it goes with my podcast, because he's a 3.5-year-old Labrador. He is pretty lively and quite enthusiastic about a lot of things. So, what was the first thing I need to talk about? Oh yes, also in terms of the setup being different, I have invested a little bit in some lighting. So I've got some light boxes now, and I've also invested in a new tripod for the camera. So I'm a little bit further away, but hopefully with the lighting and everything, hopefully it'll be okay. So let me know what you think about that in the comments, if you think it's an improvement or if it's worse. Hopefully it'll be an improvement, but let me know what you think. So one more piece of admin. And that is to announce the winner of the giveaway for the Soul Attraction socks by Vanessa Townley. And I did a little Ravelry thread to host the giveaway. And is the Soul Attraction socks by Vanessa Townley, who is Kiltercraft on Instagram. And she also hosts the Kiltercraft podcast on YouTube. So let me just go back to the giveaway thread. It was really lovely. I did a prompt for the giveaway, which was, I think it was to tell me something positive which has happened to you or something you're thankful for during this time, just because there's so much negative at the moment and we wanted to focus on something a bit more positive. And the winner, who I've drawn using random number generator, is Brenda KBB, and her entry said, "I'm thankful for the dash of yarn I've accumulated. I could stay in and knit for a long time." So that's really good. I think a lot of us are thankful for having like stash and being able to focus on using some of that at the moment. So that's amazing. So I will contact Nessa and ask her to send you a copy of the pattern over on Ravelry. So you don't need to do anything for this one. I will contact Nessa and let her know. So thank you so much, Nessa, as well, for being kind enough to donate a copy of the pattern to the podcast. So Jonah's just calmed down. So I really hope that wasn't too loud. He just sometimes has to get crazy out of his system and then he just like sleeps for a bit. He's just fallen asleep under the table. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he will be quiet. Okay, so that was it for the admin and announcements and things like that. I've got a couple of FOs to show you and got some new cast-ons, some older whips, and a bit of embroidery as well, actually. So let's get started. Okay, so the first FO that I've got to show you, if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen a picture of this. And I'm still yet to weave in the ends and block it. But this is my Sorrel sweater. So I think I had said I was hoping I would have finished this on the last episode by the time I next filmed. And I have! So I'm really, really pleased with this. I've opted to do a cropped version. So it hits me sort of like just below the waistband of my jeans, if I'm wearing jeans. And it's a pattern by Wool and Pine on Ravelry. It was quite an easy pattern to follow if you've knit a sweater before. There were some parts of the instructions I found were slightly... It sort of expected you to know the construction of a sweater. I can't remember which bits they were. All of the yoke was really clear. I think it was just sort of like it didn't tell you to bind off on, I don't know, on the... Oh no, it did tell you that. I don't think it said how to bind off for the sleeves. I can't remember. But there was no way I was doing that. Sew and bind off again because that nearly killed me. What was I going to say? I really, really love the pattern and I love the fit of the sweater. It was so much fun to knit. I love the yoke. It's just gorgeous. I love it. And I love the yarn as well. So the yarn which I used a fingering weight, I think it was a non-superwash merino and a silk mohair lace weight blend, both of which were from the lovely Ishrat of Fruitful Fusion. She is an absolute wizard with dyeing, and if you haven't heard of her yarns, you should definitely go and check out her shop. I will link to everything that I talk about just down below in the comments. So, yeah. The colours, I'm just going to move my drink so that I don't dip the sweater in it. I think the fingering weight didn't have a colourway name on the ball band, but the mohair was in the cool mint colourway. Don't know if you can see the halo on this. Hopefully you can. But it's going to be such a cozy, warm sweater. We're having quite warm weather at the moment here in the UK, so it is way too hot for me to put this on. It's in the 20s, and that's degrees Celsius. I don't know what that would be in Fahrenheit, but it would be way too hot to wear this for you on the podcast today. So hopefully we'll be able to do that nearer the time. That's part of the reason I haven't blocked it yet as well, because I'm not going to be wearing it anytime soon. Even though I finished this probably over a week ago now. I can't remember. But it's got a twisted rib on the hem and the cuffs and on the neckband. And although it's reverse stockinette for all of the body and sleeves, you actually knit them inside out so that you're actually just knitting around and around, which I really enjoyed because I really love the look of reverse stockinette, but purling all the way around isn't my favourite. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this pattern. It's a gorgeous sweater. There were just some parts of the instructions I thought it seemed like you should maybe, it sort of expected you to know the construction of the sweater. It just didn't spell it out completely. So yeah, love it. Okay, so that's that big FO. Just need to have the ends woven in and be blocked, but as I said, I'm not going to be wearing it anytime soon, so it's not really a big deal right now. And I've got another FO, which is a friend to a previous FO, and it is a second Bonbon Bunny, which is going to be a gift. And this second one is knit out of Vicky Brown Designs DK. I think it was a merino nylon blend. I think it was 75% merino, 25% nylon. And it's in the wisteria colourway. I love it. I really love this colourway and how it's knit up. And it's been quite nice to work with DK for a little bit, because I think most of my projects end up being fingering weight, but I really, really do like how this has turned out. And I did use the usual fluffy acrylic yarn for the tail. I can't remember what yarn that is. I can't remember. I'm not sure. It's just something I've had in my stash and I picked up from Hobbycraft years ago. So, and then I just end up using it now just for bunny tails. So, yeah. And the little eyes are safety eyes, which I had a big, I've got a big box of them that I think I'd ordered from Amazon at some point. They've just got like quite a few different colour options, and then the backing for safety eyes, which makes them quite secure. Like I'm pulling on it now, pulling on the eye, and looks quite bad, doesn't it? But I'm pulling on it and I can't like undo it, so they feel pretty secure. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that. And I've also got its friend here. They're both going to be gifts fairly soon, hopefully, once the lockdown finishes and I can actually gift them. Because I kind of want to give them in person. So, yeah. Oh yeah, so the previous one, this one was knit out of Pixie Yarn DK in, I think it was a charity, was it a charity colourway? I think it was, called Amp Up the Love, which I got earlier this year. Oh, it's so cute. I love it. And this was 100% merino, so it's super soft. So, but I think they go really nicely together, these two colours. So we've got one purpley and one more neon pink. And this colour reminds me of Becky from the Bex Creates podcast. This just makes me think of her. Like, this would definitely be the sort of colours that she goes for. So yeah. They're done. They both got the bunny tails. You can see. Yeah. Both got bunny tails. I don't really enjoy knitting toys that much, but I really like the finished product. So yeah, really pleased with those. So that's 2 FOs. And then we're going to be on to whips. So let me just have another sip of my squash. It's just like, it's too hot to drink a hot drink at the moment, so just trying to stay hydrated. Also, if I don't drink enough water, my voice goes funny when I'm podcasting, because I don't normally talk this much. So yeah. So the first whip I'm going to show you, I think I will show you the shawl design that I've been working on, because I have spent quite a lot of time on this. So this is living in my gorgeous project bag from my friend Jan, who is Faithful Sheep. I think she's Faithful Sheep 19 on Instagram. And she was so kind of made me this bag, I think it was last year. And I have stuck a few pins on it because it's quite a sturdy fabric. And I've got my little margarita. I think it's margarita. It looks like it is. A little margarita. And then I've got my 3 Animal Crossing pins. I think I might have mentioned them last time, so I won't go over that again. But I have been playing quite a bit of Animal Crossing. Just as a side note. So this makes me smile whenever I see them. Okay, so I think I did show this last time and I ran through the yarns, but I'll just quickly do it again in case you have not seen. So I'm using 3 different sport weight colours. Oh no, hang on. This one, I believe, was a one of a kind from Primrose Yarn Co. And I picked it up from, I think I picked all of these up from a yarn story in Bath. So it's just a really lovely blue with so many different colours running through it. And these 2 are both La Bien-Aimée. This one is Ash, is the colourway. And this one, I think, is Le Petit Nuage. Don't think I've made that up. And this one, I think, is my favourite. I absolutely love it. So I've got these 3 colours together. They're all sport weight. I think it's a merino. All of them seem to be the same base with the merino nylon blend. And I've done quite a bit on this. It's going to be too long to show you on the needles. Oh no, I've done the stupid thing. Oh, maybe this isn't so stupid actually. I'm in the middle of a row, but it might actually make it easier to show you because it's so long now that I won't be able to show you the triangular shape where I'm at the end of a row. So yes, we'll pretend that I planned it this way. Oh gosh, that's a bit of an evil laugh then, wasn't it? Oh gosh, I've been listening to the Harry Potter audiobooks and apparently I'm turning into a witch. So here we go. This is what I've done so far. So here is the middle of the shawl. I'm kind of showing it you upside down, but does it matter? So hopefully you can see that okay. And all of the colourwork sections, they're not real colourwork, they are all using mosaic knitting, which is just a series of slip stitches which make it look like colourwork. So I'm really enjoying this technique. And here we go. Oh, let's get rid of all these ends. Pretend you didn't see. So here we go. So we've got like a lot of stockinette sections. Then we've got this mosaic knitting section. I quite enjoy the zigzag effect when I'm doing mosaic knitting. And then I've gone into sort of a zigzag and stripes section, which I really like. And then I'm about to start another mosaic section. And I'm thinking of doing a very simple lace after that at the end, just to round it off. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I wanted this to be more of a textured and playing with colour kind of shawl rather than complicated stitches. So although it looks like there's a complicated pattern here, there really isn't. It is just slip stitches. I don't know if you can see the speckles on that purple one. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this project at the moment. And oh, I've got my little mermaid stitch markers. If you can see those. They were from, where were they from? The person that does the laser cutting. The name has just gone out of my head. I just can't remember the name of it. Can't remember at all. It's just gone. It's gone from my brain completely. So I've forgotten what I was saying because I've just spent a while looking online trying to remember the name of the maker for these. It's really annoying me now. I just can't remember. But I'm really enjoying working on this. The colours are just working up beautifully. So yeah, really, really pleased with how this is working up. And I feel like it's knitting up quite a lot quicker than my usual shawls as well, because it's in sport weight, not fingering weight. So there's that as well. I'll just pop these away, otherwise I'll end up with stuff all over the place. And we'll move on to the next whip. Don't think there's anything I missed telling you about that. There we go. Right, that's going over there. Okay, next whip. I was going to show you just a bit of progress on these socks. So this is living in a beautiful bag by Claire of Mr. B's Yarn and Bird Street UK. It's just perfect for socks. Just a lovely drawstring. I've always got a pair of socks in this. It's just lovely. And living in here is a pair of socks, well, part of one sock for Jimmy. So I am using, oh, I'm getting tangled is what I'm doing. I'm using a skein of chromatic yarns here, and the colourway is, what was it? Tresim. So let me show you the ball band. It's chromatic yarns on the sturdy sock base, which is 75% BFL, 25% nylon, and the colourway is Tresim. Okay, so yeah, here it is. Get these messages off. I really like how that's working out. This is what I've done so far. So I haven't even finished the leg, but it is a big sock because I'm doing 72 stitches around, and I'm doing, doing 5x1 ribbing. So I'm doing knit 5, purl 1. This is the same that I did for my granddad's socks end of last year. I did him a pair of ribbed socks for Christmas, and I thought the ribbing would make them a bit more snug or allow for a bit of extra ease, just a better fit, and Jimmy really liked them, so I am knitting him a pair with that pattern. And I've also got my little avocado from Hannah of the Corner of Craft as well, because it's her yarn, and so I had to put one of her Progress Keepers on there. I feel like I'm a bit zoomed out. It's harder to show you things, but hopefully you can see things okay. I'm a bit further away from the camera than I used to be, so we'll see how it goes. I won't really know until I get it onto the computer and I'm editing. But I'm really loving the way this works up. It's really lovely, soft yarn. Like for a BFL, it's nice. It's soft, and hopefully it'll make a really sturdy pair of socks as well. So yeah, not much progress, but there is some. I think I was at that marker the last time I showed you. So now I can move the marker up, and hopefully I'll have done a heel by the next time I see you. I need to not set random arbitrary goals, because no one needs those. No one needs the extra pressure right now. So yeah, there we go. Pop that away. I am really enjoying that. It's just really easy to just pick up and not have to think, because the pattern is just like so obvious. It's just perfect mindless knitting if I've not got time to dig out a big project and just want something small to just knit a couple of rows on, then that works really well. Okay, so I've got 2 more whips, or I've got 1 more knitting whip anyway. And then I've got a little bit of, I was going to show you my crochet blanket, because I've done quite a few inches on that since I last showed you, and I've got a new embroidery project as well. So I'll just show you my last knitting project, and this is living in, I'll show you the bag backwards, my gorgeous bag from Hikari of Hikari Handmade. She makes absolutely stunning bags, and I always love the texture of her fabric. It's just really tactile. I just love it. They're just so well made, and I really love these thick rope drawstrings that she puts on them. And it's just such a huge bag. So I could probably fit 2 sweaters in this. I'll just get the notepad out of the way. I've got the whole notepad in there. And half of the yarn, only because I've not caked up the rest of it yet. So I've got 3 skeins of yarn, just some notions and bits and pieces, and a big notepad. and part of the whip so far. But I won't just show you that yet. I will show you the yarn first, I think. So I may have mentioned on the previous episode that I was planning on casting on the Susu, which is, it's kind of a, I think you'd probably call it a sweater. It's a garment, but it's quite a boxy garment with a deep V-neck, and so I think it's not got full sleeves. I think it's like partial, like half sleeves maybe, or 3/4 length, and it's just like quite a big boxy layering piece. And ever since, I think it was it Alison, our Skein heroine, who was at Flock in January or February. No, February. She was at Flock in February and she was wearing hers and it looked amazing. And ever since then, I've had it on my to knit list. And then my lovely friend Shanti of the Shanti Knits podcast, she gifted me a copy of the pattern for my birthday in March. So then immediately I was like looking for yarn to cast it on, and I asked the lovely Claire and John of Mr. B's Yarn if they would dye me up some DK in their Merlin colourway, which is the same colour I used for my granddad's socks last year, and I absolutely love this colourway. So here is the skein, the ball I'm currently working from. Hopefully that is showing up all of the speckles and the gorgeousness in this colourway. It's just beautiful. I'll just show you another one as well. It's just gorgeous. Just love this colour. So I had to cast on pretty much as soon as I finished the Sorrel, or a little bit after. I made myself finish some projects first, so that I could not feel too guilty and enjoy it. So here is what I have so far. Ta-da! Here we go. So it is knit in pieces and then seamed together, I think. So at the moment I'm working on the back piece, and it's really nice to, I'm quite enjoying the change of scenery, change of pace, knitting a garment like just the back piece instead of around and around. I'm just quite enjoying just doing it in pieces for once. I don't know why, I suppose it's just a change, isn't it? So I just love how Merlin looks in the seed stitch. Or is it? It's like a double seed stitch or double moss stitch in the pattern. And then there's this gorgeous cabled section. Gorgeous cables and some eyelets along each side. I really, really love it, how it's working up. So it's a very oversized pattern. I think it's only written for 3 sizes. And it's meant to have 20 inches of positive ease, so like really boxy. And I'm doing the smallest size. And I started off, what did I do a swatch? I thought I'd done a swatch. Maybe I didn't. I'm not sure. I cast on, recommended needle sizes of 4mm. and I cast on with a 3.75, no, a 3.5 millimeter, because I'm quite a loose knitter, so I thought I'll go down a couple of needle sizes. And it was still turning out way too big, like a lot bigger than it was supposed to. And I'm not sure why it was turning out so big. So, long story short, I've had to go down to a 2.75 millimeter needle when the recommended one is a 4 mil. So I'm basically almost knitting on sock needles with DK yarn to get this gauge. So, but it is working out beautifully. I really, really love it. I can't wait to wear it. So yeah, it's gonna be boxy. Obviously there are a lot of stitches, so each row takes a fair amount of time. And because it's the double moss stitch and the cables, it's basically each row is like ribbing, so it does take a little while to work up, but I really, really love the process, and I just love feeling the texture. I just love it. I just love it. I don't know what else to say about it. And the yarn is just so gorgeous and squishy and soft. And the Progress Keepers, where are they from? I think this one might have been from Ishrat of Fruitful Fusion. Sure. And I don't know, I think that one might have been from Becky. I'm not too sure where she got it from. And this is Progress Keeper is from Hannah of the Corner of Craft, and it's the gorgeous unicorn. Love it. So, because he's sort of like a greeny bluey colour, I thought he'd bring out the pops of blue and green in the Merlin colourway. So I kind of like to colour coordinate my Progress Keepers with the projects that they're on, and the same with the project bags. I've become one of those people that likes to colour coordinate all the things. But it makes me happy and it's satisfying, so it's just the little things that make you happy, I think, are important at the moment. So if I want to colour coordinate my stitch markers and project bag, then I'm going to do that. Oh my god, it's just so beautiful. I love it so much. I need to get back to working on that. So, there we go. That is my Susu so far. Susu so far. Oh gosh. Okay, we're getting there. I've got a couple more things. And then we are done. Okay. I will show you my crochet blanket next, I think. It's getting pretty unwieldy and it's getting pretty big now. But I have added, how many colours? Oh, I don't know. At least 10 colours since I last showed you, so that's quite a few. And just gonna figure out a way to show you this. Maybe if I just hold it up like this, I can just show you the new bits. So down here, there is a Progress Keeper. Don't know if you can see it, just here. So from this line upwards is new. And then I'll just be showing you the new stuff then. So I can't remember all of the different yarns. A lot of them are mini skeins that I got in my Advent swap last year. Let's see, I'm not sure. There's a few just odds and ends. And I can't remember where they came from. I know this green and yellow and brown is left over from some self-striping socks. Jinx yarns in the colourway C. I can't remember. It's a Rick and Morty colourway. I just call them my Rick and Morty socks. And then I've got a couple of minis, I think. And I've definitely got some wool barn. Only a bit of that though. Only a bit of the wool barn. I think it might be this sort of neutral line. Then I've got quite a lot of this, which is Mr. B's yarn, Walking in the Air. I've got the ends, I need to trim those. I do it sort of every so often. Walking in the Air is the blue speckled one. And then we've got, what's that one? I think that's leftover Sherry Iris from a mini skein. And then the top at the moment is actually Merlin by Mr. B's yarn. So I'm working with Merlin on 2 different projects at the moment, which is quite fun. Do love that colourway. But yeah, so I'll see if I can just show you. I'm showing you folded in half. This is half of the width. This is it so far. So I'm hoping I think I'm about 2/3 done, possibly 3/4. It's going to be massive and just crazy colours. But yeah, it's getting there. It's just massive. I don't know why I had to make it so long, because I don't think I'm actually going to keep it on our bed after all of this. It's much too fun to keep hidden away in the bedroom, so I think I might have it on the sofa as a nice blanket. Possibly. Not sure. Just because it's years of work. Years of my life have gone into this. Each row takes half an hour. So I feel like it's too much work to have it like hidden away. I don't know. Maybe I'll change my mind. But at the moment, that's how I'm feeling. I want it as a nice blanket for the winter where we can use it just to have like a lap blanket. Just when we sat on the sofa. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, I love when it's folded over. Just looks so great. All of the crochet. Fold it again. So I'm just going to put that over here. I am working using, I might sit down, using a magic ball. Is this called magic ball? Where you use magic knots to attach each colour and then wind it all up into a big ball so that you don't have to keep picking out colours. So I sort of create each ball in a bit of a fade. So at the moment I'm fading through neutrals and a lot of Mr. B's yarn. I think there's some Duchess under here. Possibly. So yeah, a lot of dusky pinks that I'm going to be working into this soon, which is nice. So yeah, that's the crochet blanket. And I've got one more whip to show you, which is a new whip, which is living in my Eldon Woodcraft project bag, which is this gorgeous one with trees. This is the first one that I got from Emma. She makes absolutely gorgeous bags. I think I say this every time, but if you've not checked them out, then definitely go and see. Okay, so this project is a little embroidery sampler, which I got for my birthday from my mum. This is like what it should look like when it's finished. It's cute owl with sort of cycles of the moon. So, and it's a kit by Jenny Blair, so it includes the hoop, all the embroidery floss, and the fabric, and instructions on how to complete each stitch as well. So it's a really, really handy kit. The previous embroidery sampler here in the hoop, that was also a Jenny Blair kit as well. So I'm a bit of a fan now. So this is what I've started. I've only done a tiny bit on it so far, but I have started it. So I've just done a little bit of the, what are these? Like vines or like flowery, the flowery bit, like the leafy section. I thought I would start with the bits that I've done before, the stitches I've done before. See, I thought I'd start with the stitches that I have already done before. I absolutely love the French knots. I had to look up how to do them properly again because I managed to mess it up. And but I'm pretty pleased with how I've managed to do those now. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm really enjoying that it's on black fabric this time. I think that will look quite nice maybe over there once I've done it. Just end up with a wall of embroidery samplers, hopefully. That would be nice to do that one day. So yeah, really enjoying that. I'll just show you the other floss colours. You even get a sparkly metallic one in this kit. They're just so cute. Oh, these are so sweet. There's a little skein. So yeah, that is where we are with that. My needle's in here as well, so I'll just pop this back away to keep it safe. Sorry about crinkling. Okay, so that was the last whip. I don't think there was much to tell you about that one because I only just really started it. So, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm finding it's quite good to switch between different crafts so that I'm not sort of doing the same repetitive movements too much. I have had a bit of trouble with my nerve, you know, it's the cubital tunnel, which is like one that your nerve goes through. That's sort of flared up a bit. That's a thing that I had like years and years ago. And it's now just randomly flared up a bit. I don't know why. So I'm trying to rest it and not do. I haven't been able to knit the last couple of days, so it's a bit rubbish. But hopefully, if I rest it, it will recover, and I'll keep taking ibuprofen, and hopefully it'll be okay. So anyway, random side note. I've just got one more thing to show you, and it is an acquisition. So I saw, I'm not sure when it was. In the last couple of weeks, I saw a new indie dyer was setting up an online shop, and they're a new indie dyer, but their colours are so beautiful. I think their website went live maybe a week ago. Excuse me. Maybe went live a week ago. And they are Pigment and Ply. I would definitely recommend going to check them out because their colours are just so beautiful. And I just couldn't choose between all of the purples and pinks. So I picked up a mini skein set, which is here. I thought if I pick up a mini skein set, if there's one or two of them that I really, really like, I can, at least then I'm sort of seeing them in person, and then I can make a separate order. So, isn't it just gorgeous? So yeah, here's the label, sorry. Pigment and Ply. Aren't these colours just stunning? I really had to rein myself in because I don't need any yarn, but I thought if I get a mini set, then I can either put them into my blanket or save them for my future crochet blanket that I want to start. I really want to do the Battenberg. I'm not sure if I've mentioned that before. I really, really want to do that, and I thought these would look so pretty in that. Or I could do a pair of socks. There's just so many options. I just don't know. I wasn't sure whether to maybe do another pair of cinnamon apple socks, which are, I think it's a pattern I did last year, which uses lots of scraps or mini skeins, and the colours sort of have a little bit of a mosaic, like a slip stitch pattern when you start a new colour. So it sort of does a little zigzag. And yeah, I just thought these might be a really nice version of those. I don't know. I'm not allowed to cast anything new on at the moment. Well, I've decided that. I need to finish some things first. Otherwise, I know I'll get stressed if I have too many projects on the go. I forgot to say, this is the Lassitude mini set. And you get 5 mini skeins of, I think each one is 20 grams. And they are all 75-25 superwash merino and nylon. So, yeah. I just love them. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend going to check them out. And I don't think I had much else to talk about this time. Jonah was just lying completely on his back with all of his legs in the air. It's just really funny. I don't know if I can turn the camera around to show you. If I can, at the end, I will do that. But yeah, I hope you are all doing well. I hope you're all managing to stay safe and still staying at home. We don't know at the moment what the announcement will be. I think there's going to be maybe an announcement on Thursday. It's currently Tuesday. There may be some sort of announcement. I don't know. At the moment, we are pretty much staying in, apart from doing food shops, dog walks, and going to work. So, yeah, we're pretty much staying where we are and still staying home. But we are lucky in that we've got a nice garden to use, an outside space. So I don't really feel the need to go anywhere at the moment. So I'm very thankful for that. And thank you for you guys as well for watching, because at least I can still podcast and spend time creating and making things I enjoy doing. And yeah, I hope you guys are all the same and managing to find little snippets of joy in your lives at the moment. And yeah, this bit always goes a bit rambly, so sorry about that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. It really, really means the world to me. And yeah, I hope you come back for further episodes. I'll speak to you soon. Bye!